Ladies and gents, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to another Marvel Future Fight live stream reaction. Live stream? Hey man, we here. We out here, boys. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? How does everything sound? Shout out to Ron, Devil Gamer, Francis, Minato, Ruben, Pana, DJ. Lots of echo. Hold on, hold on. How does it sound now? What's up? What's going on, Brad? Let me know if there's any echo. How does this sound? Everything sound good? We look good? We sound good? Sound is perfect. Everything Gucci. All right, cool. Cool. Let's go. Full screen on them, baby. Everything sounds great. What's going on, Nick? Jonah, Maria, Nate, Game Master. Oh. We got that side profile.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Marvel Future Fight V755 update live stream. That's right, we are coming live to you. I want to welcome everybody today, and thank you all to those of you who have been answering the questions we posed in the chat before the stream actually started, and now I guess. If you haven't answered them and you would still like to hear us read your question aloud, please do so now. The first question we have here is, which Eternal are you most excited for? That would be a great start. And then later on, we will be tackling the question, which comic series would you like to see in Marvel Future Fight? So if you have answers to those, please drop them, and you may hear it read aloud by myself and my co-host today. I hope you all enjoyed V750, Enter the Phoenix, but today we are focusing on V755 mid-month update content for Marvel Studios Eternals. Yes, this will be an update inspired by Marvel Studios' Eternals movie, which is coming out very soon, only in theaters. So that is going to be very exciting. We have a new character by the name of Makkari and uniforms for Ikaris and Sersi. There will also be in-stream rewards given out to those of you who watch the stream, which you are doing right now. Congratulations on doing what it takes. Please stick to the end of the show, and we will be giving you instructions and a special code that you can enter to retrieve your reward. Keep in mind, there is a very limited time that you can actually claim this reward, so you're going to have to be pretty quick on the draw for that one. All right, I am going to bring in my friend and yours, my co-host. It's Mr. CM Cage. Where is he?
Hello.
There he is.
Hello, Kim. Hello, agents. And once again, it is always great to be back to showcase a new stellar update. Now, Kim, are you excited for the Eternals?
Yeah, I'm excited for this movie. I've been waiting a long time for it.
I hope so, yeah. That's the focal point of what this update will be about. And speaking of which, I believe you have one of our first engagement questions you're going to go ahead and ask.
Yes, it's, which Eternal are you most excited for? My answer was, well, I mean, there's a few. I am excited for Sersi because I'm really interested in her specific portrayal, her MCU version. But I'm really also curious about Thena. I think she comes off as really in control, really formidable. She has this energy that's don't mess with me. I am very smart. I am very brave. I'm very strong. So I think she's very interesting. How about you, Cage?
For me, actually, I was going to lead off by saying Ikaris, but after doing a little bit more research and seeing a little bit more of Makkari, actually, I'm a little bit more intrigued by her character. So I'm actually going to switch my vote and actually say I'm interested in Makkari. I'm interested in speed characters, especially one of this, you know, almost cosmic level of just power.
Yeah.
I was looking over.
No,
this
that's
character's
exciting to
history.
have a speedster.
Yeah, and I was looking over this character's history, and this character's history has been all over the place. So I'm really intrigued, and I'm looking forward to definitely showcasing her to you guys as well.
All right. Well, I have some responses already from those of you who are in the chat watching live. Sebas Olguin, please forgive me if I've mispronounced your name, says Sersi. Nitro 152 says, for some reason, I'm excited for Ikaris. They did not explain what that for some reason is, but Luis Navarez on Facebook says T2 Cage. I like how it's not T3. It's T2.
Interesting, just T2. Unfortunately, I'm not an Eternal just yet, but we'll see. We'll get there someday.
It's indicating you're T1 right now. I'm just putting that out
Need
there.
some work.
Lion of Olympus, Prince of Power, that's quite a long name, says please, and then the please emoji, and then the sad emoji. Please, please, please give us Gilgamesh, and then more of this please and sad emojis.
Oh.
You know, maybe we'll take pity on them. No, there's no need to be sad. It's all good. Carlos Figueiredo, please forgive me again if I mispronounced that. Again, says Thena, like me.
Nice, good.
And we have Freddie Turner saying, can't wait to see Sersi's skills, which you will see them imminently.
Very soon.
Mouthful says Makkari, like you. Same reasoning too. Need a speedster with fast movement speed.
Nice. Like.
And I have one more. Marcos Perez says Ikaris, all caps, needs to break the game, also all caps. So this is a screaming answer, you could assume, right?
Very passionate, which is good. You need to be passionate, especially for characters with levels of strength such as these. So with that said, what do you say we go ahead and just jump straight in? We're going to open up with our first Eternal, which is Makkari.
All right.
Now, Makkari is, as you can see, is a new character to the game, and she is, of course, a speed type character. So, Kim, for those of you for those audiences out there that don't know who Makkari is, why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit of a rundown?
Well, like you mentioned, Makkari is the speedster of the Eternals. She is devoted to protecting humankind from the deviants. She is has a lot of different powers, a lot of abilities that are frequent among the Eternals, including cosmic energy manipulation, extreme force generation, shockwave generation, and of course, superhuman speed. Makkari is the fastest woman in the universe, so they say. Yes.
Interesting. So, of course, there's a lot to go on with this character. I'm not going to go fully into all the description, but one thing I'll just highlight, for example, for some of her passive skills, such as her Tier 2 passive skill, the Sonic Dodge, it grants a guaranteed dodge rate of plus 30% and decreases damage received by 30%. That's just for her Tier 2. But enough of her passive skills. Let's go ahead and see some of her skills in the field. And something I want to highlight just before we start, especially the developers wanted me to emphasize this a lot more with this current update, is that a lot of certain stats are still currently in development and are still under a little bit of construction. So whatever we say may not be present in the final build. So just something to keep that in mind.
Really?
Right,
Update is coming tomorrow. Like the hell?
We're going to go ahead and jump in and see some of these skills. That's quite an entrance. All right. Go ahead and start off.
Love a good entrance.
That's right.
Okay, so she has an awakening.
Basic attack. Interesting, this basic attack, it actually creates a projectile, a little bit of a blast attack there. So you can see people in the back getting struck as well.
It looks kind of cool, yeah.
Is about the same too. Interesting. Sweet. And about skill 1. Moving on to skill number 1, which is, I was talking about the basic attack earlier. This is skill number 1.
The delayed effect is kind of cool.
Take a look at one more time and see all the just the area of effect this works. Yeah, she comes in.
It's a nice one too, right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Deals anybody hit by the first initial attack will be given stun, but if you notice, the attack goes a lot further out, and anybody caught in range is hit by the blast. Have to restart it because every time she hits, everyone gets spread further out. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to skill number 2, which actually is a counter attack. This is how it looks just with the basic. I'm going to go ahead and actually have the enemy attack first.
Okay, do that counter.
All right, here we go. This is the skill number
Oh,
2.
so
which
it
is
turns
the
into an
eternal-
iframe.
Again,
It's a little different.
Also has
there's a
debuff
little
immunity on
stick
it.
There. Turn off the AI for this one. Again, as I mentioned, this is a counterattack which actually fractures opponents while leaving them incapacitated and paralyzed.
Yeah, it removes debuffs from you while you use it. That's pretty cool.
Nice. I'm going to move on to these guys over here for skill number 3. Let's take a look.
Damage accumulation, damage immunity,
Nice.
attack buff.
This is the Tectonic Shift. This grants damage immunity while also accumulating true damage dealt to enemies regardless of their defense and dodge rate.
Yeah, there's an attack buff and immunity as well.
Earthquake almost.
Mm-hmm. Move on to skill number 4, which is a pretty neat little skill. I'm going
What?
to actually reset
What?
it. Yeah,
That
I'm
was-
not-
Do that
I'm not
again.
gonna
That
do
was so
I'll do it
quick.
at an
Again.
angle.
Whoa.
Yep, a little bit of a zigzag motion there. Let's do it one more time. This is the Psionic Sprint. This is a swift stunning strike, which actually deals about 60% of your physical attack.
Nice. Yeah, that's really fast. I appreciate your showing it more than once.
Yeah, these skills are very, especially being with the Eternals. All their skills are very visually, a lot more cinematic and look a lot more visually appealing. So let's try that again. As you can see, she zigzags back and forth and comes all the way back. Go ahead and move on to skill number 5. This is the Cosmic Cyclone.
Now that looks cool.
Traps her enemies.
That looks cool.
Do it one more time. Now this is a paralyzing
Okay.
attack that actually ignores your opponent's damage immunity while granting Makkari a little bit of immunity of her own.
It's invincibility and a
Nice
damage proc.
Depiction of super speed.
Yeah.
So she
It
has.
also
Yeah.
increases her basic
Okay.
damage for her next attack by 100%.
Oh, that's nice. She might be good with
Now, of course,
rage
she-
then.
As you can see there, she actually has a transcendent potential or awakened skill. We're not going to go over that just yet. I'll tell you a reason why soon. First, I'm gonna go
Cersei
ahead
has
and
the
go into
awakened skill, guys.
developer notes, see what they have to say. So according to the developers, they actually say she is a well-rounded character for both PvP and PvE. The
Three,
reason being
six,
for
four.
PvE, after gaining the skill 3 defensive buff, which is referring to this skill right here,
So 3, 5,
she's
4.
also able to attack with skills 4 and 5, allowing you to chain the hits a little bit better. And for PvP, with the aid of her second skill, which is also, as I mentioned earlier, which is a counter attack, she has a high dodge rate. So overall, Makkari is great for attack and defense. For their developer tip, they
nice.
mentioned it would be effective to begin a combo with skills 3 to get the accumulated damage, then increase your attack skill using skills 4 and 5. So we're going to go ahead and test out their skill
Rotation!
combo, which is
Shout out to
3
Vaz
cancel,
coming
4
in with the
cancel, and
$5 super chat. Yeah, so it goes 3. I think you should go 3, 5, and then 4 until you get the 6th skill. We don't know if the 6th skill can be
So we're
cancelled
gonna
yet.
get those hits.
Because like the
That
5th
does it
skill
for
gives you
just
that
the basic
proc.
modern uniform of Makkari, but that's just not it though. We have a lot more to go on to go with that. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. So of course, with the addition of this new update, the several eternal characters are going to be getting, a few of the eternal characters are currently going to be given a new uniform. That's because Makkari is not only a new character, she's also a new character that will be given a new uniform in this very same update.
Because money.
That's right. You may recognize this. This is the Marvel Studios Eternals uniform.
That's right. Now with this uniform, she has two new skills, and as part of her passive that come with this new additional skill that comes with this passive uniform. With this new skill, she's given an additional 10 HP recovery, with the addition of when using her new skill, Hurricane Dash, which we will go over very shortly.
Yo, shout out to Mike
Connection.
for the $20 super chat. Appreciate you, man.
All right.
All right. So again, a lot of her skills actually have a little bit more of a different color palette, so you can see here. This is skill 1, which is one of her new skills, which is the Eternal Sonic Boom. It's similar to her previous skill, but if you notice the difference here is that she actually dashes behind her opponents.
Nice. Okay.
All right, so move on to skill number 2. Again, skill number 2 isn't a new skill, but again, just if you notice the color is a little bit different, so a little bit of a visual change there. So we're going to go ahead and move on to skill number 3, which, as I mentioned, plays
Okay.
into her uniform's new passive skill.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, she might be a rage character looking at the 3 skill.
I do this skill one more time because visually it's just very cool.
Yeah, man, it is very cool.
Yeah.
This again is the Hurricane Dash. As you can see, great visual effects, looks
Man,
fantastic.
they're trying to sell this uniform,
This
boys.
skill is that it's as far as the effects. The effects are the exact same as the previous uniform, or the modern uniform, but the difference is that because of the uniform's passive ability, you actually gain additional HP recovery.
Also, she can't heal
That's
without
good.
the uniform.
Move on to skill number 4.
All
This
right,
is
I
the
recognize
Sonic
that.
Sprint. You
Okay, it's the
recognize
same thing.
zigzag motion there. Again,
Yeah,
not a new skill, but
just
again,
a-
just cool to see again.
Different color palette.
That's right. Skill number
5.
5 is the
That's
Cosmic
right.
Cyclone.
I just love the way that speed is depicted. It's kind of like those old school zoetropes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're referring to.
Yeah, see it?
So I'm gonna go ahead and
That's-
reset one more time.
The thing is, you'll
Really
never,
cool
if you use her with a regular
So
proc,
I'm gonna go ahead and move on to
you'll
our
never see the
awakened
third skill
skills.
animation.
Hmm?
So I'm actually gonna go ahead and do this again because the angle wasn't really right, but you can probably see by the time that skill ended.
Looks like you can cancel
I
it
see a
though.
There
friend.
you go. That's right. And you can see Makkari and her fellow Eternal Sersi join together in a stellar attack that paralyzes foes while granting Makkari. Now there's a number of stats in here, so I'm gonna try to get through this as best I can. So this attack increases Makkari and Makkari's critical rate and damage by 35%, while ignoring your foe's dodge rate by 70%. In addition to that, this further increases her. So when she lands a critical strike, her critical damage is further increased by 50%. And if that wasn't enough, her basic attack and defense is further increased briefly by 25%. There's a lot that goes on with this skill, as it
Not
should,
bad.
as this is an awakened skill.
Yeah, she might be a rage character still. Because it doesn't look like you can cancel very many of her skills.
I see some of Sersi's qualities in there too.
That's right, and you're going to see more of that
Yeah.
in just a moment too.
Good, good. I want to talk about that more.
I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next batch. As you can see here, that is not the correct batch. That's from a previous update. Here is the correct batch, and as you can see, these are the Eternals based off Marvel Studios. Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you have Ikaris and you have Sersi, but we're going to go ahead and start off with, or follow up with Sersi. This is Sersi in her new uniform. So, of course, Sersi was introduced, I believe, back in the 695 update, but she is given a new uniform in this update. So, just as a refresher, Kim, can you refresh our audience and what? And
Her hands always look so creepy.
Well, we know Sersi is a member of the Eternals. What's special about Sersi, though, is her great capacity for compassion and love. She loves humankind, and she works as a museum curator, but she uses her powers of transmutation to help people and protect people and give them the best chance to advance. She also is in love with Ikaris and has been for about 5,000 years.
Sweet. So,
Yeah.
so with this uniform, some additional effects that we can read off is that with this uniform, she has an additional HP recovery rate of 30%. Not only that, any damage she received is actually reduced by 30%.
Okay.
And in addition to that, for example, for her passive skill Eternal Cleansing, the effect of removing debuffs from her fellow Eternal allies have increased from 10 seconds to 12 seconds, while the cooldown has been decreased from 20 seconds to 18 seconds. Seems small, but when strategically planning these out, timing is everything. And then lastly, for her tier 2 Cosmic Focus, in addition to getting a 30% increase on basic attack and damage, or basic attack, any damage she receives by supervillain is decreased by 30%, and any damage dealt to supervillains is increased by 30%. So
Dr. Doom, she's coming for you, boy. She coming for you.
Look at these skills now.
Cersei look like she's taking it to
She actually
PvP,
has
boys.
2 enhanced skills as well.
Only 2 skills? They better change the accumulation.
This is the Magic Whip, nothing new, but of course the color is a little bit different there, a little something new to look at.
Mhm.
This is the skill number 2, Delusion Glow. So move on to over here. Let's go on to these guys over here to use her new skill, which is the Cosmic Sphere.
So still has the accumulation for 5 seconds and 5 seconds of immunity.
Interesting.
Take a look at this one more time. So again, this is a visually astounding skill that will actually paralyze foes
Yeah.
while granting a 15% HP recovery and damage immunity.
Okay, so now she can
That
heal.
also accumulates a
Okay,
percentage of
good.
damage, deal true damage.
Does she still have the charm heal?
Go ahead and move on to these guys over here to move on to our next new skill, which is pretty cool. This is the Enhanced Telekinesis.
Ooh, okay. She still has charm, but she's not in the iframe for the 4th skill anymore, so that's cool. So she can do
As you can see,
3.
she strikes enemies with
4,
a pulse And after doing
Let's see
that, she
5.
actually transmute the buzz into rose petals. So as you can see here with this action.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Is that after she strikes enemies with this buzz, those are left
Yes.
charmed and
It kind of gives you that Scarlet Witch
These stats
vibe.
are actually similar to her previous uniform skills, but the difference is, again, not only just visually, but also the range for this attack has actually been increased as well. Take a look at it one more time. For those of you who saw the teaser, this looks
The rose petals are
very
always
familiar.
Yeah.
Move on over here.
Just
That's
see
like
5.
such a hallmark of
Okay,
Sersi
so
now.
depending on how fast you can sleep, you could probably do 3,
Destruction. So now we'll
4,
do her
5.
new awakened skill, which is the illusion force. As Makkari's skill is called speed force, this is illusion force. Take a look at this one more time. Sorry, Makkari and her fight alongside to paralyze opponents while also dealing a variety of stats that are similar to Makkari's, but the difference being as Makkari's critical damage would be increased, Sersi's a little bit different, where her basic damage is increased by 35% for her next attack.
I don't know how to feel about Sersi still relying on taking damage
Nice.
to
And that does
deal
it for
more damage,
Sersi.
but she has damage reduction now, so it's okay.
All
We'll see how it
thank you,
works out.
Paige.
That's right. Now, of course, we can go on to the Star Eternal, the iconic Eternal himself, which is Ikaris. As you mentioned before, there were some fans of Ikaris that are excited.
Let's get it,
Take a look at him.
my boy.
They're all caps excited, Cage. And there were a few I didn't read that were in all caps too.
There's a difference. When they're in caps, they're
Let's
truly-
go. We
That's
taking
how
over
you
the meta.
know that they are screaming the words.
We taking it over, boys.
So just as a refresher, who is Ikaris?
Ikaris is the most powerful member of the Eternals. He is the tactical leader of them, and has been with them for thousands of years. He is moral, kind, charismatic, loyal, and he keeps his fellow Eternals safe.
Captain America, pretty much.
All traits actually that are perfect for the leading Eternal. So yeah, let me go ahead and read off some of the basic effects. So with his uniform, his chain hit damage has increased by 10%, and also all basic damage received has been decreased by 25%.
Is that only 5%? I swear he had 20 before.
Superhero, as you can tell, and he has also 2 enhanced skills as well as an additional little item there, which you can probably already tell just by looking at his listed skills. Let's go ahead and take a look. Skill number 1 is the Warrior's Fist, not the new skill. Still always fun to see. Skill number 2 is the Hero's Advance.
Still has ignore dodge on it.
Fun to see. So this is a new skill, or new-ish skill. This is skill number 3, which is the Cosmic Rush.
Okay.
Ooh.
Still has
If you
accumulation.
were fans of the previous or the modern uniform, will see that it looks familiar. That's because it is pretty familiar, but with one distinct difference. So one difference is that although the substats that it actually causes are the same, what it does is actually creates an additional projectile that is hovered above him, which allows you to, when you cancel this skill, it will allow you to chain other combos as well.
So 3 cancel, 5 4 might be possible
As
now.
far as
Do it. Chain them.
Chain them. I'll chain. I'll add a little bit more detail. I skipped ahead a bit. That plays into the developer notes later on. Let's go ahead and skill number
Okay.
4, which is the Eternal Blast.
Okay, same as
boy.
For
before.
those of you who are wondering, like, this doesn't look completely new, that's because yes and no. So what's different with this skill? Again, this is a skill that has similar substats, but the difference is the attack is actually prolonged, which will actually allow you to do more damage. So let's take a look at it one more time. Yeah, if you time it out and see the number of hits are actually increased because what he does, he fires first, and then he fires for, as you can see there, for a second time, allowing you to do more damage.
Very nice.
So as you can see, we are already all set to do our T3 ability. That's right.
I'm not too
already
excited by
obvious.
I-beam
T-
skills these days.
T3 with this update. The name of this T3 is referred to as Fated Precision.
Meh.
Whoa.
That's right. You can see that he does his iconic.
Hyperion failed me with
Yeah, one
I-beams.
more time.
I'm off that, bro.
We have to charge up our T3 account, then I'll go ahead and read through the stats that go along with it.
Those eyes.
Yeah, I-beams don't do it for me no more, guys. Seeing Hyperion being so lame,
I
bro.
guess while I'm doing that, I'll actually go ahead and
I need to see big damage before high beams excite me.
The key thing that goes with this, again, with this uniform is, again, as I mentioned, that's that projectile seen in skill 3. You can actually use it to cancel and be able to chain attacks. So let's test it out. We're going to go ahead and do 3 cancel, 5 cancel, and then 4.
Nah, you still have to let 5 play out fully.
Let's go.
Well, you have to let him roar with 5 before you can cancel it.
Let's go ahead and
So you can't even use a CDB of energy on him.
T3. Now, this attack, as you can see, this is an epic burning attack that will leave foes silenced, buffing your next attack by 50% while dealing up to 200% of your character's energy attack.
Yeah, you see, you can't even get the rush. That Dragon Rush on the 5th skill, they should have made it an insta-cancel.
Also, the developers mentioned that when you equip an artifact, Ikaris can actually attack enemies with the ignore targeting effect, making him very beneficial in PvP.
They tried. Yo! These guys actually
Once again,
gave him ignore iframe on his artifact.
Butchered it the first time. Yeah, once again, it is going to be. Oh wait, for the debuffs to wear off on that for a second. Sweet. They're also
Get them
together.
lined up like bowling pins.
That's right. That's exactly where they're going to be. We're going to go 3 cancel, 4 cancel. I messed it up again. Oh no. So they actually have 2 different lists of sets here. You can do it with 3 cancel and then 6 or his T3, or once again you can do 3 cancel, 5 cancel, or 4, and then follow it up with 4.
You can't cancel 5, man. You have to roar first, bro. Otherwise, you don't get the Dragon Rush.
There you have it.
All
You have
right.
the first few Eternals to be released in Marvel Future Fight.
Oh, we're not getting any more than this? We're going to have to
Interesting
wait till
when you
next
say
month?
that. All right, let's move on. We're not done with our Eternals content, though we have finished our characters. That is because we have an epic quest.
That's right. We have a little bit of more of a unique epic quest as opposed to our different ones. Let's go ahead and go.
Okay, let's see it. Oh, we're doing it without having a character to rank
Story
up.
begins.
Skip that. Skip it. Don't spoil it. Skip it.
Wow.
Skip
I
it.
like this art.
Yeah.
She looks pretty,
So what's
though.
interesting about this, I'll go ahead and briefly go through. Some
Bro,
of the
skip the
notes
story,
as
bro.
we-
Skip the story. We don't want to
as we
see
flash
it.
through. But what makes this specific epic quest more interesting is that there are actually separate storylines for each Eternal. For this first update, as of course, the first available Eternals are going to be Makkari, Sersi, and Ikaris. And after you clear the prologue, which is currently being run through now, you're going to be given an option to choose one of 3. And the reason why you have to be careful with what you choose is that once you choose a character's specific story, you have to complete it before you can move on to the next story.
What the hell? This is going to be so boring having to do it like 11 times, bro.
Reveal too much just yet, so
What
actually
the
I'm gonna
hell?
leave it to,
Yo, I don't want... Okay, it doesn't look that long.
when this goes live. So what's going to happen first, as I mentioned, there is going to be a prologue. And after it's a prologue, as you mentioned, you're going to get to these next Eternals. And as you mentioned, for those of you who are wondering where the other Eternals are going to be, have no fear, they will be released in a future update. And you can see there's a variety of different, as per normal for each epic quest, you're going to be following a lot of objectives. Now, this isn't really visually appealing to see. We want you guys to actually experience it firsthand. So I'm actually going to go ahead and list for you what the developers listed, what will happen if you choose said stories. For example, for those of you who want to go with Sersi's first story, when choosing Sersi, at the start of her story, you will be given a tier 2 Sersi, and by completing it, you'll be able to transcend her potential. Makkari will be the character that will be available for the deluxe package.
Of course.
By completing that, you'll be able to grow her to tier 2. For Ikaris, upon starting his story, you will get a tier 2 Ikaris, and upon completing the story, as per other epic quests, you will be able to grow a tier 3 Ikaris. So that's something to look forward to. Once again, in order to move on to the next story, you have to complete that said story, and then you can be able to move on. So there's a lot to go through for each. This is a very unique case. So we look forward to seeing what you guys have to say for the update. And that does it for the content for V755.
All right, but we're not done yet because we have a question to answer.
We have a question.
Which
Pause. Okay, I don't care about your question. Not to be rude. So, we complained that the epic quest was basically just super boring and just have you doing these mundane, whatever you want to call the word, tasks over and over and over again. Go find Ikaris trousers, go do this, go do that. And they do the same thing, only this time you have to do it not once, not twice, not 3 times. I don't know, 10 times? Like, bro, in the chat right now, 1, if you like this change to the epic quest. 2, if you don't like it. Be honest, guys. Be honest. Now, I don't know if this means they're going to give you materials to rank up these characters, or if they're just going to allow you to just do the missions and they're automatically going to rank up. if these characters can be automatically gotten all the way to tier 3, like you can get a tier 3 Ikaris from start to finish, that would be dope. Especially if you're free to play. Right? If you could get these characters, like for example, well, you can't even get what's her face because she's crystal locked. Surprise, surprise. Well, actually, I'm not even too upset about that. One, because all of them are free. Duh. What's her face is not free, bro. Well, she is free. Makkari is free, but you have to pay 6,000 crystals. I'm not sure if you were listening, but Makkari is the deluxe package character, like Psylocke, like Magneto, right? So there is a deluxe package, bro. There is a deluxe package. It's Makkari. You have to pay 6,000 crystals for her. So my man was like, you won because they're free. No, fam. This is Netmarble. Netmarble gives with one hand and take with the other, bro. So don't get too far ahead of yourself, okay? If it's gonna be like Star-Lord, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess. Bro, I don't know why they would do this. Well, I get it. They can't release all of them at once because the movie doesn't come out until like what, a week and a half from now or whatever. But like, why would you choose to release the Epic Quest now? If that's the case, well, I don't know. It seems kind of lame. You're doing like 10 heroic quests. It just seems kind of silly. And what if you ranked up these characters before? Do they reimburse you some materials? Like Ikaris and Sersi were already in the game. A lot of people already have Ikaris level 70 gear 25, Sersi level 70 gear 25. Does that mean I automatically complete this entire quest without even having to do it if I have the character completely rank up? Or do I still have to go through these little tasks, if you will? Like, I have so many questions. I guess we'll find out on stream. I'll probably live stream this whole thing to see how it turns out. I mean, they will release all characters together after the movie, then yeah, they will. With 10 other, well, it's not 10 left, it's what, like 9 left or something like that? With 9 other storylines for you to finish. I guess this is better if they're gonna give you the bios. If they're gonna give you the bios for the majority of these characters to rank them up from just completing the task in the game, cool. I'm okay with that, right? But if they're not, I don't know, man. Anyway, let's see what else they got to say here.
Which comic series would you like to see in Marvel Future Fight? Cage, you go first.
I say a personal favorite of mine that I would like to see would actually be the infamous Iron Man. That's a character who I would love. Again, it's Doom as Iron Man. So just that combination alone. Again, it's been years since I've read through it, but just having that uniform alone would be fantastic. I think that would be the run I would like to see.
I mean, it has potential.
Oh, a potential. I see. I believe you're a fan. I believe you have you have a different opinion.
I have a different answer. I would like to see Avengers Disassembled. This is by Brian Michael Bendis, David Finch, Danny Miki, Frank Darmada, and more. This takes place after Wanda remembers her children's disappearance. These were memories that Agatha Harkness wiped from her mind, which the Avengers were good with and helped with. And Wanda goes nuts and goes on a spree. And I like seeing Wanda at high potential, even if it's bad, as it frequently is. But I do like her outfit in this one, and I'd like to see it translated over. It has kind of like, it's pretty witchy. It has kind of a fantasy genre vibe to it that I like. Yeah.
Well, you are a fan of Scarlet Witch, so that makes sense.
I've mentioned that many times. She's my favorite.
We sure.
So what do the players have to say? What
that.
are some runs that we know?
All right.
Yeah, we know we
Let's
have fans
get to them. Ooh, I have many answers to this.
Ooh.
Okay, let me pull it over. Lost Druid says, Hellfire Gala. Literally nothing is more important than getting the gala. Dude, or
I agree with you.
I'm not going to assume your gender, but Hellfire Gala is a great answer. The fashion. I was looking all over those. The different artists had released the outfits on cards, you know, outside of the books.
I remember the promotion for
What a
this,
dream. Yes. Nate Case says, most wanted comic run, Avengers versus X-Men, with Hope Summers as a new character.
So Hope Summers is the game, unless they're referring to... It's so
Hope Summers
complicated.
is in the game. I'm not exactly
She was released,
sure what
yeah,
they
she was
mean by
released
that.
a while back as part of the, I think it was around the time Kid
I
Omega was released
remember
as well.
this.
Yeah.
Are these guys tripping?
Yeah. Jess Hernandez also says Hellfire Gala.
Good answer.
Fogey Squatch says any comic with Havoc and Polaris. I almost said
They have
Polaris.
been highly requested characters
yeah.
for the longest time.
Let's see. Michael McGregor says Demon Days. Psylocke needs love. Yeah, okay.
I agree.
I can get on board
It's
with
been a while
that.
since she's given an update. I agree with that.
Jack of Blades says would like to see Cosmic Ghost Baby Thanos Must Die comic book in game. Give Thanos a baby costume or Thanos Punisher costume. Okay, they want to see the Thanos model in game.
Oh, I see what you're referring to. Oh,
Or like a big baby. I'm not really sure
or
if they
Cosmic
want
Ghost
a
Rider
little
having yeah, I
Thanos
see.
baby. Yeah. Or like someone holding baby Thanos, perhaps. Oh boy. I mean, that's ambitious.
Mm.
Gabriel Loza again, please forgive me. I apologize for mispronouncing
I'm
your
sure they'll
names.
understand.
Fear itself could make a great update, especially for the villains. I think so too. Nanotech Gaming says, oh yeah, please, Fear itself, Ms. Marvel. I guess they were agreeing with each other here. Eduardo Lopez, great idea. The Trial of Magneto. Magneto
Weird.
is such an interesting character. So yeah, I can agree with that.
Did you guys all book that they said Hope Summers is in the game? Or do you guys book that?
Marcelo Reyes must have watched Marvel's What If because
I'm assuming he's
they're
gonna talk about
suggesting
Ultron.
nope.
Oh, okay.
Marvel Zombies.
Ooh, that's a good
back in the popular eye, you know.
Like,
Carlos Rodriguez.
Hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say
I want to know which game these guys are playing, bro. The fact that they think that Hope Summers is in Marvel Future Fight, like, hello, are we okay? Like, these guys actually okay. There's something else, bro.
yeah, I think the
Go
only
ahead.
zombie uniform that I'm aware of is I know Venom has a Marvel zombie uniform. But yeah,
But
I
what
would
if they were
but more
all
specifically, what if they were all zombies? You get zombie Iron Man, you get Spider-Man, you get all yeah, that'd be a fantastic run.
It'd be pretty scary. It'd be good. Carlos Rodriguez says Days of Future Past X-Men. Shadow Knight 43 says we need Infinity Ultron.
Yeah, that's right.
Alexander Lee says Soldier Supreme. And Peter Parker says
Peter Parker is
Max-
one of our fans. We have the actual Peter Parker. One of
yes.
Nice.
They're calling themselves Peter Parker. Maximum Carnage. Lots more heroes and villains from that series that could be added to the game. Weird that
100%
Peter
agree.
Parker asking for Carnage.
Interesting.
And Maximus the Mad lastly says, I'd personally like to see a Young Avengers update, maybe an epic quest with Iron Lad as the main character.
That would be.
That is a
interesting
good
too. Yeah.
answer.
Yo,
Yeah,
I like that,
I can
Max.
side.
I would be down for Iron Lad. In case you guys don't know who Iron Lad is, it's Kang, aka the Conqueror. Like, I'm down for Iron Lad just because Iron Lad would mean we get Kang the Conqueror at some point because, you know, Iron Lad becomes Kang. Anyways.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Lots of well thought out answers. I can tell there's some hardcore Marvel fans in here, people who are really enjoying it. So great job, everyone. That was really impressive. So to wrap up what we have gone over today, we have a new character in game, Makkari. Makkari also comes with a new uniform inspired by Marvel Studios' The Eternals. We also have new uniforms inspired by Marvel Studios' Eternals for Ikaris and Sersi. And lastly, we have a new epic quest for you to check out, which we've gone over just a little bit.
That's right,
So
a very
this
new
is
and
for you
unique
to
epic
find out.
quest. And again, all that to say, when that, as I haven't mentioned already, for after later on in the future, when more Eternals are added to the update again, more Eternals are coming later on. Again, they will be added to the epic quest as well to further expand that story. So we look forward to seeing what you guys have to say about the new epic quest.
I mean, it seems like you should get through this epic quest, you know, just to be ready. But this brings me to the time of the stream in which we give out the reward code and the instructions that you need to claim that reward. That code is MFF, as in Marvel Future Fight Sersi, SERS.
Guys, go into that code in game right now. For those of you guys who are on iOS, you need to go to the Marvel Future Fight forums and you need to click on the link. Here, let me see if I can find it for you. And I'll post it in the chat. The update is disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys either. I personally was hoping to see 3 new Eternals with these uniforms for Ikaris and Sersi. So the fact that they're giving us 1 new Eternal and 1 new uniform for that same Eternal, it's kind of bummer, right? I would have preferred if they gave us 3 new Eternals, no uniforms for them yet, and then gave us 2 uniforms for Ikaris and Sersi. And then in addition to that, I would have liked to see them do more for Ikaris and Sersi because they only changed 2 skills for those characters. Now I get it, they have a lot of characters to work on, but they also had a lot of time to plan for this update. It's not like they didn't know that this movie was coming out in this month, right? They knew since last year what the time frame was looking like. So I can't even give them the excuse of like, oh man, I know there's 11 characters or however many they decide to add, right? That's why they're like shortchanging us on the changes, but it is what it is. Maybe we don't need a ton of changes. Maybe Ikaris just hits really, really hard off his tier 3, or maybe now his new 4th skill. Maybe Sersi just hits really hard off her new 4th skill. Maybe that's the case. But I personally would have liked to see a little bit more from those 2. But Sersi, the changes that they indicated that she would be getting here, it tells me that she's going to be solid, right? She's getting damage reduction. She's getting damage decrease on top of that damage reduction when it comes to taking damage from supervillains. Plus, she does extra damage to supervillains. So that alone, in addition to the fact that she can remove debuffs like always, plus now she can heal without charming people, tells me that she's going to be a solid character. But I'm hoping that the damage comes along with all of those as well. When it comes to Ikaris, though, I was hoping that they would change his 5th skill so you could cancel it right away. So you could go 3 cancel, 5 cancel, proc on 4, possibly get away with using him with a CTB of energy, since the rage right now is just lagging behind all of the other CTPs base form, and you can't reforge it. So hopefully, honestly, at this point, I'm hoping that we can reforge rage this update. If not this update, at least by the end of the year, we need rage to be reforgeable, because we are getting more and more characters that kind of feel like they need rage to work. But the fact is, the rage just does not do that well in World Boss. Like even Hyperion, I wanted to use him with rage because he has guaranteed crit rate, but rage is just doo-doo. Like a regular proc is better than a CTP of rage. So at this point, the rage needs to be revamped. Sersi can be transcended. Yes, Sersi is getting her 6th skill along with the new character Makkari. Thank goodness you no longer need to have all the characters in the Awakened skill to unlock it. Beast capping? Beast capping about what? Yeah, y'all should let, like Ron said, let the people who spend a bunch of money test out these characters before you go and buy anything. Just because of the fact that we're going to be getting so many characters and so many uniforms. The fact that they released Makkari and then already released the uniform for her means that they plan to release a uniform for pretty much all of the Eternals that we're getting. Okay? So Makkari in herself is already 7,000 plus crystals. So just look at it like that, okay? Makkari, Ikaris, and Sersi, that's 10,000 crystals from just 3 characters. Okay? So y'all need to be real careful. Y'all need to be really, really careful when it comes to this update. Especially if you're on a budget, you're free to play. 3 characters costing 10,000 crystals, and then we have the potential to get another 9. Y'all better really be careful with this update. I'm telling you, bro. Let's see what else they got to say, and then we'll go back again.
The case does not matter. There is no space. It's MFF Sersi. All one word. And we will be posting that on screen. And there will be instructions for that, hopefully pinned and in the chat and the description. If you don't see it and you need help, I would refresh the page. And there are 2 different ways to enter this coupon code. There's the original procedure, which is Android only. That is entering the coupon code in the coupon menu of the in-game setting menu. And the new procedure, which will work for both Android and iOS, which is enter the coupon code on the coupon registration webpage, and which I previously mentioned should be pinned in the chat or updated in the description. I would refresh if you are needing help with that later on. And I think that about does it, Cage. I think we've gone over everything.
That's not. Again, this is a minor update, so that's why there isn't as much content as usual. But even so, there's still a lot to go through, even with just what we currently have for available for this upcoming update. So once again, for those of you to keep up on all updates relating to Marvel Future Fight, we are of course on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also look at the forum for even more details for character descriptions and patch notes. And don't forget to keep a lookout for Marvel Studios Eternals, which will be descending on theaters. With that said,
that's right, November 5th. Come and watch it, theaters only. Thank you all for joining us today. Until next time, agents.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
All right, so first things first, they said the code, or rather the link, was in the chat. So let's pull up the chat here and see. The chat is disabled. Why would they disable the chat? Oh, these guys are geniuses. These guys are geniuses. They tell you, yo, the link for the coupon is in the chat, but then they disable the chat. No.
This character's history has been all over the place.
Okay, there we go.
So
the chat is
really
not disabled. Okay.
I'm looking forward to definitely showcasing.
Hold on. Let's see if we can find that link for those of you guys who are on iOS. They said it was pinned. I don't see it pinned. I think I have it, so I'll get it for you guys. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not pinned. Okay, cool. Give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna grab it for those of you guys who need it. Got it. All right, so for those of you guys who are on iOS, use this code right here. Well, use this link right here to enter the code. There you go. Let me pin it to the chat here. Pop. So that should do. Now let's go back and take a look at some of this stuff.
Attack first.
Okay, do that counter.
All right, here we go. This is the skill number 2, which is
Ooh.
the limit unlock. Again,
It's a little different.
yeah, she does a little bit of a sweep kick there. Turn off the AI for this one. Again, as I mentioned, this is a counterattack, which actually fractures opponents while leaving them incapacitated and paralyzed. Do this one more time.
So the code is MFF Sersi,
Move on to these guys over here.
and I'm gonna check right now in game and tell you what you get.
Ooh, nice.
This is the Tectonic Shift. This grants damage immunity while also accumulating true damage dealt to enemies regardless of their defense and dodge rate.
Like an earthquake almost.
Mm-hmm. Move on to skill number 4, which is a pretty neat little skill. I'm gonna
What?
actually reset
What?
it. Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
went
do
on.
that
I'm not
again.
gonna do that.
I'd like to
with
see
a
that
better
again.
angle.
Whoa.
Yep, a little bit of a zigzag motion there. Let's do it one more time. This is the Psionic Sprint. This is a swift stunning strike, which actually deals about 60% of your physical attack.
Nice. Yeah, that's really fast. I appreciate your showing it more than once.
Yeah, that's where these skills are very, especially being with the Eternals. All their skills are very visually a lot more cinematic and look a lot more.
Am I the only one that thinks it's kind of scummy that they release a uniform for the paywall, sorry, Crystal Wall character right away? Couldn't we have gotten like a strong Moonstone type character that doesn't? Well, hopefully she doesn't need the uniform, right? But they said in the stream here, right, that this character gets a heal from her uniform, and we know right now that for War Boss Legend content, if you can't heal, you're not making it past stage 20, bro. That's just what it is. If you don't have some type of passive healing in your kit or some type of active heal, you're not making it past stage 20. And if you're not making it past stage 20, you're kind of mid. I'm not even going cap, right? So the fact is, if this character needs your uniform to heal, she better be stronger than Moonstone, dog. I'm not even playing. If I buy her and buy her uniform, yo, she better be stronger than Moonstone. Because Moonstone cost me 6,000 crystals. If I have to spend 7,000 crystals on this character, bro, and she's weaker than Moonstone, that's a problem. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right.
More visually appealing. So let's try that again. As you can see, she zigzags back and forth and comes all the way back. Go ahead and move on to skill number 5. This is the Cosmic Cyclone. See, she runs around, traps her enemies. Do it one more time. Now, this is a paralyzing attack that actually ignores your opponent's damage immunity while granting Makkari a little bit of immunity of her own. Not only that, also
I like the
increases her
depiction of super speed.
yeah. Not only that, it also increases her basic damage for her next attack by 100%. One more time. Now, of course, she does, as you can see there, she actually has a transcendent potential or awakened skill. We're not going to go over that just yet. I'll tell you the reason why soon. First, I'm going to go ahead and go into the developer notes to see what they.
Okay, with Invisible Woman, you have to keep in mind that Invisible Woman came out long before Moonstone, right? Moonstone set a bar. And so anything coming after Moonstone, if it's coming after Moonstone, and it's costing the same price, and then some? Oh no, baby, we gotta come harder than no. Okay? I'm gonna let Invisible Woman, Magneto, who else? Psylocke, even though she can't even be transcended. Those characters, I'm gonna let that pass just because those characters are old. But the bar has now been set. Moonstone, years later, bro, she's still one of the best characters in the game with no uniform, right? She's pushing stage 39 plus in World Boss Legend, no uniform. So they gotta come with something different. The cool thing about this is, though, you might not even need this character, right? Here's the thing. She's a speed type. We know that they're not going to release a speed female superhero that's better than Luna Snow. That's not gonna happen, right? So you probably don't need this character for ABX. You probably don't need this character for squad battle. You probably don't even need her for War Boss Legend because there's no requirement for Null or Mephisto that says you need an Eternal. Right? You need speed types, you need characters with the agility tag, that kind of thing, right? So you probably don't even need this character. Unlike with Moonstone, where you want to unlock the deluxe package to get access to the missions that give you ISOs or whatever, if you have a choice, the new Epic Quest design might actually help us, bro. Because with the current Epic Quest system we have in the game, if you complete the entire Epic Quest and you don't get the deluxe package character, there's a mission that's missing. With this thing, you might not be missing any missions, bro. Because the structure of it looks kind of like the heroic quest system, where you choose a random character, you do that heroic quest, and then you're done with it permanently. It looks like they don't want to add any more replayable daily missions in the game. So if that's the case, what's the reason to buy her? Think about it. A lot of us buy Psylocke because it gives us access to one more mission that gives us Phoenix Feathers, right? So I don't know if there's even missions for these heroic quests, or sorry, epic quests, if you will. There's no requirement for Eternals yet. True, yet. So again, like I said, you might not need her. Just saying. A year later, not years later, bro, this COVID thing got me feeling like it's been a long time, bro. We needed Akatsuki Epic Quest. Don't kill me, bro. You know we'll be rolling Team Itachi all the way, bro. They should reduce the cost of deluxe packages. They won't. They won't ever do that. But they should put them on sale, though. With so many deluxe packages in the game, bro, it would not... Well, I was going to say it would not hurt them to put them on sale a couple times a year. You know? Because the whales are going to buy them regardless, right? The whales are going to buy them as soon as they come out. The free-to-plays... But honestly, they don't care about the free-to-plays, man. If they did, they would give you guys some free crystals, like, or give you some missions to earn more crystals on a regular basis. You notice the game is progressing, and they're not saying anything or doing anything really out the box for like the amount of crystals that you can earn on a regular basis. It's crazy, bro.
They have to say.
Introducing a new World Boss Legend. World Boss Ultimate with Eternals? That doesn't make sense. You must mean Legend. They might actually make one of the deviants a World Boss Legend, right? And then say, yo, you need Eternals to do stage, I don't know, 15 to 20 or something like that. They could do that, right? They could do that. They could definitely do that. But if they did that, you already have Ikaris and Sersi. Oh, and Hyperion, I guess, but he's paywall and he's kind of ass. But you still have two other options, so you don't really, unless they're going to specifically say you need a speed Eternal, right? And who knows, we might get another one that is either just as good or better than this one that's easier to attain. You never know. I'm just saying, be careful with your spending this update. It could be vicious, boys.
So according to the developers, they actually say she is a
Uchihas were way too OP. Yeah, they're savages, bro.
well-rounded character for both PvP and PvE. The reason being, for PvE, after gaining the skill 3 defensive buff, which is referring to this skill right here, she's also able to attack with skills 4 and 5, allowing you to chain the hits a little bit better. And for PvP, with the aid of her second skill, which is also, as I mentioned earlier, which is a counter attack, she has a high dodge rate. So overall, Makkari is great for attack and defense. For their developer tip, they mentioned it would be effective to begin a combo with skills 3 to get the accumulated damage, then increase your attack skill using skills 4 and 5. So we're going to go ahead and test out their recommended skill combo, which is 3 cancel, 4 cancel, and 5. Let's try it out.
Why would you cancel 4?
Nice.
Wait, when you cancel 4, do you still get the...
So you're racking up those hits.
When you cancel 4, do you still get the zigzag pattern?
Form of Makkari, but that's just not. That's not it though. We have a lot more to go on. To go with that. I'll tell you why in just a moment.
Yo, actually, Shout out to Ken, bro. Man just said Makkari just did the Leaf Whirlwind, but it's actually the Leaf Hurricane. Shout out to my boy Rock Lee, the legend. Leaf Hurricane. But they hit them with the Hidden Lotus, bro. That's crazy. Makkari's fifth skill actually is the Hidden Lotus, bro. That's crazy. I just booked it. All this time I was looking at it, I'm like, yo, that looks really cool. And then I didn't even realize that the reason why I think Makkari's fifth skill is really cool is because it's Rock Lee's Hidden Lotus, bro. It's what he does before he kicks them in the air and then drops them on their neck.
As you can see, she zigzags back and forth.
It's literally the start off to the Hidden Lotus, bro.
Skill number 5. This is the Cosmic Cyclone.
Oh, isn't it? Yeah.
See, she runs
Isn't that what he does to Gara in the Chunin exam? And then he just like teleports under him and then kicks him in the air, bro?
Attack that actually ignores.
Guy Sensei would be proud.
Immunity, but granting Makkari a little bit of immunity of her own. Knowing that also
I like the
increases her
depiction
basic
of.
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun with her just because now it just reminds me of Rock Lee, bro.
damage for her next attack.
Rock Lee was my guy.
One more time. Now, of course, she does, as you can see there, she actually has a transcendent potential or awakened skill. We're not going to go over that just yet. I'll tell you reasonably soon. First, I'm going to go ahead and go into the developer notes, see what they have to say. So according to the developers, they actually say she is a well-rounded character for both PvP and PvE. The reason being, for PvE, after gaining the skill 3 defensive buff, which is referring to this skill right here.
Rock Lee didn't fall off. The Arthur for Naruto just turned it into the Sasuke and Naruto show, bro. That's why I love One Piece, because everybody gets airtime, bro. Versus something like Naruto, it started off with like what was it, 9 rookies? And then like by the end of it, only people who mattered was like Sasuke and Naruto. So stupid.
She's also able to attack with skills 4 and 5, allowing you to chain the hits a little bit better. And for PvP, with the aid of her second skill, which is also, as I mentioned earlier, which is a counter attack, she has a high dodge rate. So overall, Makkari is great for attack and defense. For their developer tip, they mentioned it would be effective to begin a combo with skills 3 to get the accumulated damage, then increase your attack skill using skills 4 and 5. So we're going to go ahead and test out their recommended skill combo, which is 3 cancel, 4 cancel, and 5. Let's try it out. Nice. You can see her racking up those hits. All right, and that does it for just the basic modern uniform of Makkari. But that's just not it though. We have a lot more to go on with that. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. So of course, with the addition of this new update, the several eternal characters are going to be getting, a few of the eternal characters are currently going to be given a new uniform. That's because Makkari is not only a new character, she's also a new character that will be given a new uniform in this very same update.
That's right. You may recognize this. This is the Marvel Studios Eternals uniform.
That's right. Now with this uniform, she has two new skills, and as part of her passive that come with this new additional skill that comes with this passive uniform. With this new skill, she's given an additional 10 HP recovery, with the addition of when using her new skill, Hurricane Dash, which we will.
Yo, you guys notice that my guy Cage is like hella nervous? I don't know why, but like you would think after doing all of these live streams, he wouldn't be so nervous anymore. But he's like fumbling, bro. Like, why is that? They've been doing like one live stream a month for like what, 3 years now? But like he still gets so nervous. It's like when your boss is right behind you watching you and you feel their breath blowing on your neck and you're like, bro, I'm trying not to mess up. And then he just messes up. Like, I feel so bad for him, bro. Because he just stays fumbling. Love Cage, bro. Like, especially when he does his... I don't know why he doesn't do skits anymore. Maybe they told him he couldn't. But, like, I used to love when he does those little skits and whatnot in the live streams. But it is what it is, man.
We'll go over very shortly. Just go ahead and take a look at the new skills in action.
All right.
So again, a lot of her skills actually have a little bit more of a different color palette, so you can see here. This is skill 1, which is one of her new skills, which is the Eternal Sonic Boom. It's similar to her previous skill, but if you notice the difference here is that she actually dashes behind her opponents.
Nice. Okay.
All right, so move on to skill number 2. Again, skill number 2 isn't a new skill, but again, just if you notice the color is a little bit different, so a little bit of a visual change there. So we're going to go ahead and move on to skill number 3, which, as I mentioned, kind of plays into her uniform's new passive skill. I do this skill one more time because visually it's just very cool.
Yeah.
This again is the Hurricane Dash. As you can see, great visual effects, looks fantastic. Now this thing about this skill is that it's as far as the effects are the exact same as the previous uniform or the modern uniform, but the difference is that because of the uniform's passive ability, you actually gain additional HP recovery.
Looks good.
Move on to skill number 4.
All right, I recognize that.
Sprint. You recognize that little zigzag motion there. Again,
Yeah,
not a new skill, but
just
again, just cool to see again.
Different color palette.
That's right. Skill number 5 is the
That's
Cosmic
right.
Cyclone.
I just love the way that speed is depicted. It's kind of like those old school zoetropes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're referring to.
Yeah, see it?
So I'm going to go ahead and reset one more time.
A really cool stylistic choice.
That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to her Awakened skill. Let's test it out.
Hmm?
So I'm actually going to go ahead and do this again because the angle wasn't really right, but you can probably see by the time that skill ended.
I see a friend.
There you go. That's right. And you can see Makkari and her fellow Eternal Sersi join together in a stellar attack that paralyzes foes while granting Makkari. Now there's a number of stats in here, so I'm going to try to get these as best I can. So this attack increases Makkari and Makkari's critical rate and damage by 35% while ignoring your foe's dodge rate by 70%. In addition to that, this further increases her. So when she lands a critical strike, her critical damage is further increased by 50%. And if that wasn't enough, her basic attack and defense is further increased briefly by 25%. There's a lot that goes on with this skill, as it
Not
should,
bad.
as this is an awakened skill. And that does it for the fantastic Makkari.
I see some of Sersi's qualities in there too.
That's right, and you're going to see more of that
Yeah.
in just a moment too.
Good, good. I want to talk about that more.
I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next batch. As you can see here, that is not the correct batch. That's from a previous update. Here is the correct batch, and as you can see, these are the Eternals based off Marvel Studios. Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you have Ikaris and you have Sersi, but we're going to go ahead and start off with, or follow up with Sersi. This is Sersi in her new uniform. So, of course, Sersi was introduced, I believe, back in the 695 update, but she is given a new uniform in this update. So, just as a refresher, Kim, can you refresh our audience and who Sersi is?
Well, we know Sersi is a member of the Eternals. What's special about Sersi, though, is her great capacity for compassion and love. She loves humankind, and she works as a museum curator, but she uses her powers of transmutation to help people and protect people and give them the best chance to advance. She also is in love with Ikaris and has been for about 5,000 years.
Sweet. So,
Yeah.
so with this uniform, some additional effects that we can read off is that with this uniform, she has an additional HP recovery rate of 30%. Not only that, any damage she received is actually reduced by 30%. And in addition to that, for example, for her passive skill Eternal Cleansing, the effect of removing debuffs from her fellow Eternal allies have increased from 10 seconds to 12 seconds, while the cooldown has been decreased from 20 seconds to 18 seconds. Seems small, but when strategically planning these out, timing is everything. And then lastly, for her tier 2 Cosmic Focus, in addition to getting a 30% increase on basic attack and damage, or basic attack, any damage she receives by supervillain has decreased by 30%, and any damage dealt to supervillains is increased by 30%. So pretty good passives. Let's go ahead and take a look at these skills now. So with this skill, she actually has 2 enhanced skills as well. This is the
Okay.
Magic Whip, nothing new, but of course the color is a little bit different there, a little something new to look at.
Mhm.
This is the skill number 2, Delusion Glow. So move on to let's go into these guys over here to use her new skill, which is the Cosmic Sphere.
Cosmic sphere. Interesting.
Take a look at this one more time. So again, this is a visually astounding skill that will actually paralyze foes while granting a 15% HP recovery and damage immunity. In addition to that, it also accumulates a percentage of damage, to deal true damage. Alright, go ahead and move on to these guys over here to move on to our next new skill, which is pretty cool. This is the Enhanced Telekinesis. Do it against these guys over here. Now, as you can see, she strikes enemies with a bus, and after doing that, she actually transmutes the bus into rose petals. So as you can see here, what this actually does is that after she strikes enemies with this bus, those are left charmed and also burned. Again, these stats are actually similar to her previous uniform skills, but the difference is, again, not only just visually, but also the range for this attack has actually been increased as well.
Yo, Silver Star. They say nothing new way too much. Bro, that's them keeping it real, because they know if they don't put that disclaimer out there, people are gonna think that these are new skills, and then when they go in game and be like, yo, this is the same skills, then they can be like, we told you, there's nothing new, fam. You thought there was something new. Nah, fam. We just wanted to sell a skin, fam. But anyways, as Ron said, the third skill is definitely gonna trigger your proc if you sit in it. And if you're using her in World Boss, she still has the charm on the fourth skill, so it's gonna be tough to accumulate if you don't let the third skill play out. So you're gonna go 3, 4, 5 with her. But looking at the skills and what they do, she looks like she's gonna be a rage character, man, or she's gonna be a headache to play with anything else, right? Unless the 3 can still like play out in its entirety, even if you cancel it, she's gonna be a headache to use like an energy or whatnot on. Coupon is MFF Sersi.
Take a look at it one more time. For those of you who saw the teaser, this looks
the rose petals are always
very familiar.
Yeah.
Move on over here.
That's like such a hallmark of Sersi now.
This is skill 5, which is not a new skill. That one's Beads of Destruction. So now
if you're just popping in,
new awakened skill.
Use the link that's pinned to the chat and enter the code that way if you're on iOS.
This is Illusion Force. Take a look at this one more time. Sorry, Makkari and her fight alongside to paralyze opponents while also dealing a variety of stats that are similar to Makkari's, but the difference being as Makkari's critical damage would be increased, Sersi's is a little bit different, where her basic damage is increased by 35% for her next attack.
Fifth skill is not different.
All right.
Nice.
Well played. And that does it for Sersi.
One thing that I gotta say, they should definitely consider letting you rent a uniform for 24 hours for 100 crystals. How many of you guys would pay 100 crystals to rent a uniform for a day? I think that would be a cool system. So if you're free to play and you're, let's say you don't watch any YouTube videos and you don't know any better, you can rent a uniform for a day, try it out, and then see if it's actually good. And if not, you could just not buy it. But they don't want to do that, right? Because they want to make sure that all sales are final. And if you buy a uniform and it's garbage, then you're stuck with it for life and they make their money. But I think renting a uniform for a day would be pretty cool, man. Like, you'd be paying, what is it, like 10% of the full price? And it's non-refundable.
All right. Thank you, Cage.
That's right.
Their sales would flop? For real, for real. That would definitely make it so they have no choice but to make good uniforms. Because, like, me being a whale, bro, like, I might still buy every uniform, or I might just rent them for a day, make some content, and then just, like, never buy it.
Now, of course, we can go on to the Star Eternal, the iconic Eternal himself, which is Ikaris. As you mentioned before, there were some fans of Ikaris that are excited. So let's go ahead and take a look at him.
They're all caps excited, Cage. And there were a few I didn't read that were in all caps, too.
There's a difference. When they're in caps, they're truly passionate.
That's how you know that they are screaming the words.
So just as a refresher, who is Ikaris?
Ikaris is the most powerful member of the Eternals. He is the tactical leader of them, and has been with them for thousands of years. He is moral, kind, charismatic, loyal, and he keeps his fellow Eternals safe.
All traits actually that are perfect for the leading Eternal.
No free trial, by the way, nice idea. Well, pretty much everything has a free trial these days. So why not free trial for a uniform? Right? I feel like that would be a good business model, man. It will keep them honest. They'll definitely have to make better uniforms, no doubt. Because their sales would definitely drop. Anyone no, guys, don't rush to buy any uniforms. Okay? Here's what I'm gonna do. When the update goes live tomorrow, I'm gonna throw up a live stream and we're gonna burn through these epic quests or heroic quests or whatever the hell they are live on stream, and then we're gonna basically just spend the day testing out these uniforms so we can find out who's Hyperion, you know, who's the trash uniform and whatnot. Because keep in mind, this is just the first wave, bro. You don't want to drop 10,000 crystals on these three and then have to spend another 10,000 on the rest. Like, let the whales do that, man. Is Sersi gonna be better than Supergiant? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Because Sersi's gonna be really difficult to play. And I don't believe Sersi's now elemental, so you can't even use her with a judgment. Supergiant, you can use her with a judgment, and on top of that, Supergiant is super easy to proc with, super easy to play, right? So, nah, fam. I would be shocked. Honestly, I would be shocked if Sersi gets to the point where she can get to stage 39 against any of these bosses. I even have doubts about Ikaris, bro. Alright, so don't be buying stuff off a whim, bro. Let the whales, let the content creators, let them come in, let them blow the money and see how things turn out and save your money, bro. Alright? Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. We've been at this for a minute. Appreciate the feedback. Love you guys in the chat. Thanks for the super chat. Code is MFF Sersi. Click the link that is pinned to the live chat. If you're on iOS, and enter the code that way, you have like maybe another hour before it expires, okay? Next thing you know, we'll be renting a tier 3 character. Yo, renting a tier 3 character for 2 days, that'll be lit still. Anyways, man, shout out to Ron, shout out to Ken, shout out to Jake, aka SS1979. Shout out to Vaz. Shout out to Nick. Shout out to Jesse. We got Savage Wolf in here. Shout out to all of you guys, man. Thanks for coming through. Y'all a good time, man. So hopefully we see something spectacular in the patch notes. I know a lot of you guys are bummed out about the fact that it's only just Ikaris and Sersi uniforms with the new character, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Oh yeah, don't forget to drop a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't. Apparently a lot of you guys are ninja watchers. YouTube is telling me that, listen, 80% of your audience watching, bro, they're not even subscribed. Like, what are you guys doing, bro? You guys are showing up on the daily watching the videos and not subbing, bro? Like, come on. Come on. Anyways, we outie. Peace.